Well, now we're going to continue our pilgrimage along the valley road here. It's almost a 3-mile walk from Rivo Torto, and this is the little village of Santa Maria degli Angeli. That's the great basilica there. Underneath that basilica is the Portiuncula, and there's the golden statue of Mary above it. That's a beautiful piazza in front of it. This is a church built around 1600 over the Portiuncula. And let's open the doors. There it is. The Portiuncula is inside the large church of St. Mary of the Angels. People walk in, and especially on August 2nd, the Pardon of Assisi is a famous day in Assisi for the plenary indulgence Francis asked to be given. There's another doorway to go all the way up to the Portiuncula, which was there as a little Benedictine chapel. And when Francis left Rivo Torto, the Benedictine said, well, you've been evicted. You can have this little place. It's also a little bit falling down. So Francis used his own hands and with his brothers put stones back here and put the cement back in and built this little portion, this church of St. Mary of the Portiuncula. And
this is a good view to share with those who've not been in this church, that just to the right of the Portiuncula, to the right and around the back, is a little area where St. Francis died. And so there is a little space there that remembers that moment. And it's not a chapel, it's just like a little room off to the side behind that column right there. The main altar for this basilica is behind the Portiuncula.
So this is sort of the beating heart of the Franciscan spirituality, because Francis then stayed here from about 2010 to 2026 when he died. So the whole...
You mean 12? 12, yeah.
2012 to 2026. So the whole...
No.
What?
1226.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm living in the past. So the center of Francis' life, where they probably had several huts here, they would have their meals together, they would have prayer in the chapel, was lived here, but they did make various trips away from here. But for the whole Franciscan order and all people devoted to St. Francis, this place is the beating heart of his life with his friars. And during that period from the creation of the rule when he had 12 followers up to the great general chapter in 1220, just in 10 years' time, he ended up with 5,000 followers from all over Europe. And then they developed all through the 1200s, and St. Bonaventure and others in the 1300s, the Franciscans became known as great scholars, great mystics, great saints. And it all started and lived in daily life here at the Portiuncula. And this is where he also died. So this is why we come here, to be very close to St. Francis. And
the inscription above the door, Bob.
The inscription is Hic est porta vitae aeternae. Here, this is the door to eternal life, or the door of eternal life. And that is the Eucharist, really. The following Jesus, the resurrected Christ, to eternal life. And this is inside the Portiuncula. Little kneelers on each side, room for about 8 or 10 people to pray. And there's a fresco in the back. That's a little altar there, a little sacristy. And on the fresco is the beautiful picture of the Annunciation, which is the beginning of the whole story, where the angel came to Mary and said, "Hail Mary, full of grace, you shall bear a son."